Hi, Jonathan Martin here from Evolution Business Systems. I'm in Prague this week for the Directions 2016 Microsoft Dynamics NAV conference. This event is the largest Dynamics NAV event in the world, consisting of 1,772 attendees, which is the biggest attendance they've had in the 9-year history. There's 588 partners attending from over 52 countries across the world. There's 60 sponsors that have supported the event to make this event possible, and there'll be over 150 sessions running over the next 3 days, all regarding Dynamics NAV. The speakers are from all over the world. The leading experts, there's 126 speakers, and there'll be 25 technical workshops, and this event is supported heavily by Microsoft, with over 120 people attending from Microsoft also. In the keynote this morning, there were some exciting details announced around Dynamics 365, which we have known for a while has been coming, and we're sure more details will unfold in the coming days. There was highlights from today's session which I wanted to just bring to your attention were the embedded Power BI straight from within NAV on the Role Center. You can actually view the Power BI reports. And you can also drill down into those and do all the slicing and dicing that you're familiar with Power BI. We saw a demonstration of a vendor invoice being emailed into Outlook as a PDF, and then using the document feature to submit that into the Lexmark engine. Now, while that's not a new feature, because we did see that released in 2016 last year at the Directions conference, they've enhanced the feature because this was actually all the operations were performed within Outlook itself. The document was submitted via Outlook into the document engine. The document was accepted, the OCR engine was processed, and the vendor invoice was created all from within Outlook. Another example we saw of Outlook integration was a request for a quote came in from a customer, and from in the Outlook interface you could actually enter that sales quote straight into Outlook, which is directly being entered into NAV, and from there you could send the quote back to the customer straight within Outlook without even going into NAV. So that was a pretty good demonstration also. We saw Outlook integration with calendars also, where service management, where resources were assigned to jobs, and then those service details were actually populated into the individual's Outlook calendars so they could run their schedule through Outlook, and that's also something that a lot of customers have wanted to see, so I think people will find that quite exciting also. We also saw items having a few new interesting features. One of those was called attributes, which essentially gives you the ability to add different aspects to an item. In this case, they use the example of the chair, and the chair may have X amount of legs, so number of legs may have been an attribute, or material or fabric being used may have been an attribute. It may have been the range that the chair was in was an attribute also. And these are all related to a category, or can be related to a category. So when you select a product and assign it to a category, those attributes are defaulted against that item, and they need to be populated. So you could say, for instance, filter on a chair with 4 legs, or filter on a chair with 3 legs. So that was a good little feature to see. We also saw a new list view option in the items, where you could, what Microsoft called the brick view. You could switch the view, so instead of just having a straight list, you could switch to a small brick view or a large brick view. I'll show you, this is the large brick view here. I'll just show you the slide that came up, and then this was also the small brick view. So as you can see, it's an item list with an image. This obviously leads into the requirement for people with e-commerce requirements, where you can publish attributes to a website along with the images, and it ties everything together. So you're using the source data within NAV, and you're being able to put that out into other areas like a website, for instance. So that's also pretty exciting. We were also shown a functionality called Power Apps, where a Power App is essentially a rapid development environment where you can bring multiple data sources together and present them to a user interface on a mobile device, for instance. The example that was used today was using 4 actual databases to bring through inventory information from 4 regional areas. And the Power App's able to pull those data sources together and aggregate that data. So if we follow the chair example again, we're looking at inventory availability for a chair, and we could see that there was X amount of chairs in stock, and if we drilled down on that we could see which location they were in. In this case they were using European countries like Germany, England, France, and you could see the availability, but in essence in the background that was actually 3 or 4 different NAV instances, so separate companies if you like, or distributors or whatever it may be. You can use that Power App to build that data model and then also present it to, say, a salesperson for availability of stock. The general manager at Microsoft, Paul White, he laid out some plans of how Microsoft are heavily investing and building on the future of the product set, and also with the release of Dynamics 365 and Dynamics NAB 2017, how they are 2 slightly different products pitched at 2 slightly different markets, but Microsoft is committed and dedicated to producing the best user interface that they can. Any optimizations that they've done are all about user interface, usability, and also functionality, and Microsoft will continue to invest in that. So all in all, it's been a jam-packed first day at Directions 2016 here in Prague. Hopefully you found this information useful, and there's lots of exciting things to come. So when we get back to Australia, we'll be talking to our customers more about these things, so look forward to that information. If you found this information useful, please feel free to like the video, give us some good feedback. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them down below. We'll try and find out any answers if you've got anything particular while we're here at the conference. And feel free to share this information with anybody that you think may find it useful. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow with an update from day 2 at Prague Directions 2016. Thank you, bye.